Living the Stream comes to you each week. Streaming recommendations during NFL season, it's not just tongue-in-cheek. Quarterback, defense, tight end recommendations based on opposition matchup. Here are your podcast hosts, JJ Zacharyson and Danny Carter, living the stream.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Living the Stream. I'm JJ Zacharyson, the lay-round quarterback, and as always, I am joined by my lovely co-host, Denny Carter. Denny, what's going on, buddy?
I was going to have to kick you to stop you from saying another lovely, but I'm doing well. I'm remembering the grueling nature of the regular season, but so it goes, and that's part of the reason we bumped this show to Wednesday, to make it a little less grueling for us. So we hope folks understand.
Yeah, I mean, look, we both have families and children that have things to do as well. My daughter is doing more and more dance things these days, and so Tuesdays became a dance day that I got to be a dance dad for a little bit, and this was the thing that was easiest to sort of shift to a Wednesday, so that was part of it. And then, like we've been saying this for years, Denny, that Tuesdays are like for a fantasy football analyst, Tuesdays are the worst day of the week.
Absolutely. They're just so tough. You're trying to grind out a lot of information that is not like fully set yet, and like you're trying to like guess as to like practice participation for the early week. It's tough. Yeah.
It's really tough. But we are here. We're doing it every Wednesday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm excited. And you guys saw a new intro over on YouTube, although it was a little bit delayed. I got to figure that out a little bit, but you saw a new intro. There's a new outro for those of you who weren't around for it's essentially a DGAF episode with the listener league draft that we did with Tom. But I'm excited, man. We were talking before the show. I have new hair stuff that I've been using for the last.
Yeah, so I desperately want to know. What you're using. Yeah,
you of all people probably would be most interested. So, I've been using the Blue Crew for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm talking. Everyone knows the Blue Crew. Right?
I know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Crew, like little like waxy stuff that you can go like this with your hands and try to make sure that your hair doesn't turn white when you put it in your hair.
That's right. My dog's upset about this. Also, JJ said Blue Crew, not Blue Chew, just to be clear.
Yes, just so everyone's clear. Exactly. And so I switched to a spray, to the equivalent, but it's a spray. Here's the downside. Okay. The upside is I feel like it keeps it in place a lot better than it did before, because my hair is pretty thick. And so whenever I put when I put the Blue Crew in, towards the end of the day, it's just like it's
drooping.
It's drooping. It's back down. This stuff stays in the same spot. The problem is it gives you that wet look when you first put it on. And then I actually like the look later in the day when because like right now it's kind of like tough, right?
Okay.
Like I can feel it and it's hard, right? Okay. But by the end of the day, it's not anymore, but my hair's staying in the same place. And so I wish I could just have that look, throughout the day.
Yeah.
But it's usually just a tail end of the day. Right now you're catching me maybe like a half hour or, an hour after I did it. So it's not ideal right now necessarily, but that's my story about my new hair stuff.
I think it looks good. I think that's a good switch. I, as someone who has very fine hair, I can't relate. I need the heavy duty stuff. I need the military grade stuff, which is why I use a powder. I can't remember the name of the powder. I'm going to come back to you guys with that later, but this powder stuff that like freezes my hair in place. I don't know what that would do for you, but you gotta experiment. You gotta find what's right for your hair.
Yeah, some people have called you a powder boy in the past. You are wearing the powder blue hat today for the Chargers.
That's right.
How many different, like, do you have allegiances to the teams? Any allegiances to the teams that you wear on your head?
None at all. I mean, I walk around Maryland with this hat on and confuse the hell out of people. Like they're like what? Like, are you from LA? But even if you're from LA, you're not a Chargers fan.
Yeah, no one's a Chargers fan. We've established that in the past. Yeah.
So what's going on exactly there on your head? And I have to say, I like the powder blue and I like the lightning bolt. That's what I like.
Yeah.
And as a Titans fan, it's confusing for folks, because I'm like, oh no, I've been a Titans fan my whole life, and they don't know.
Do you get other Chargers? Let's not say Chargers because we know the Chargers fans don't exist. So you have an Expos hat. I know that. You have are there teams that you wear and people come up to you and say, "Are you an X? Insert team here fan?"
So people think I'm a hockey guy because I wear a Hartford Whalers hat.
Ooh, yeah. That would be big down here because that's they moved to Raleigh. That's the Hurricanes now.
And so I've been stopped in an airport before. And at BWI, and a guy was like, love the hat. You were a fan, I assume. And he goes on and on about the Whalers. I'm like, bro, everything I know about the Whalers, I know from their Wikipedia page. Like, I'm sorry that I'm not actually into it. I don't know anything about hockey. I find hockey boring. But
you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. I there was a store where my sister used to live. This is like 10 to 15 years ago. And I used to shop there because it was like an outlet store for, I probably have talked about this before, for like colleges and stuff. Yeah. So like kind of reject colleges. And then one time we found my wife went to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. It was like it's called RPI. It's an engineering school up in New York near Albany. And we found an RPI shirt once at her school or at that store. Yeah. And it was one of those because it's usually just like the most random reject schools that you can imagine. And then we saw her school, so she felt pretty bad. But I've had a Valdosta State shirt.
Really?
That I wore. Yeah. And now I know that it's in Georgia. I've learned since then, but Valdosta State. I one time was wearing a Wichita State Shockers shirt. Our mutual friend Chet Gresham.
We love our Shockers. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a Shocker. And so one day I was in Cincinnati. I was living in Cincinnati, and I wore it to the farmer's market. Random Saturday morning. Some guy like eagerly just starts running towards me, and he's like, "Are you a Shocker?" Just like super super excited. And I said, "No, I just wore the shirt." I couldn't make it out because I don't know anything about Wichita and Wichita State. So I can't. But yeah, I've had. I had a shirt that just said Hobart on it, which is evidently a school. I don't know where that is. I don't know.
Hobart. Okay.
Yeah, I had shorts, gym shorts that said Cortland on them.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Hobart. Every single person who listens to this show instantly knows where Hobart is.
Oh, yeah.
That goes without saying. Okay, wait, can I just say before we move on? My next goal, as far as random hats go, I want to get a Tulane Green Wave hat.
That's a good one.
That wave is mad as hell. What'd you say?
Yeah, some Matt Forte love. Right there.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Tulane would be cool. I have a problem where there's only one specific kind of hat that I basically buy now. Actually, we went to Hilton Head this summer for vacation for a week. And when I was in Hilton Head, I wanted a Hilton Head hat. And I tried a bunch of them on, and I found one that fit my head, which is a rarity, right? It's not easy to fit this giant dome of mine.
It's a big head.
Yeah. And so I found one that fits, and I wear it all the time on shows and stuff. It's that like orangish one, if you guys have seen it on live streams. And I want to now I want to use that hat and make late round hats out of that hat because I know the hat fits me really well. But the only ones that I really can buy that look normal backwards are Hitch hats on like 47 brand. 47 brand.
That's what this is.
Yeah. So like they have a Hitch style hat, and it fits my head. I look kind of weird forward, but backward it fits. I don't know, man. I've gotten to the point though where like I just feel weird buying like Pitt or Pittsburgh or even Charlotte. Like I'll do Charlotte because I wish that because I had some. I had a Whalers hat as well. But I just haven't dove in there with the Hitch hats.
I'm jealous of your Nordique hat.
I do have a Nordique Hitch hat. You're right.
Yeah. God, that thing is cool. I keep forgetting to look strongly into that. Yeah.
Yeah, Nordiques would fit exactly what you're vibing with.
I mean, look, can I guess what city they played for?
Yeah.
Wait, is it Montreal?
It's Quebec.
Quebec.
Yeah.
My bad. My bad, Canadians.
And then do you know where they moved to?
Oh God, was some godforsaken southwestern area?
Yeah, actually, they became the Colorado Avalanche. So yeah.
Well, that's not.
It's not as It's not like when the Coyotes, from the Jets, doing that sort of thing.
Horrific.
Why is the NHL ever making teams leave Canada?
I don't know. It seems so wrong, like on like a very like fundamental level, to like boot them from Canada and put them in the American Southwest.
Yeah, right. It doesn't seem right, right?
Come on. I mean, like, what are you in, like a place where like humans shouldn't be able to live? It's so hot, Hockey doesn't belong there. Sorry.
Yeah. They said that's Gary. The chat is saying that's Gary Bettman for you, which is true. He's their commissioner. He's horrible. And then Tyler said moved to Colorado and won the Stanley Cup in the first year. That's when Joe Sakic, right?
Okay. I know that the Avalanche were amazing in the 90s.
Yeah. They had like Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg and Ray Bourque. Remember Ray Bourque?
I do remember.
I actually have a Ray Bourque Bruins jersey in my closet right now.
Really?
Like $15. Yeah.
I always used to get Ray Bourque mixed up with the failed Supreme Court Justice Bourque from the 80s. I can't remember his first name, but I always, as a kid, I always be like, I don't know which one is which.
Yeah, the Penguins growing up, they had a guy named Phil Bourque, so that really.
Oh,
and the Penguins also had Mario Lemieux, and the Avalanche had Claude Lemieux. Remember Claude Lemieux? He was another.
I do remember. Was
late '90s hockey was elite. Like literally, I would still put late '90s steroid era baseball ahead of late '90s hockey, but like NHL Tonight on like ESPN2 and stuff, and the vibes were great with late 90s late 90s anything really, if we're being honest.
Late 90s were a really good time for baseball because of the roids. Let's just be clear.
Yeah 100%. I mean, if they forced everyone to take steroids, I'd watch baseball again. I can't watch baseball right now because my team growing up was the Pirates, and the ownership I just can't support anymore.
So wait, are they bad?
Oh, they're horrible.
Oh, but I thought they had the best player in baseball.
They do. They're still terrible.
Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, they're going to trade them away next year, and it's just going to be the same thing that happens. It's been happening my entire life. You know that I have an IC Light. By the way, I'm gluten and dairy free, just as a
it's new.
Yeah, I have an IC Light. Okay, Iron City Light, which is the beer in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
It's in my garage fridge for when the Pirates win the World Series.
But you've had it for 100 years.
I've had it I got it since they were in the playoffs the last time, which was the only time in my life. Well, aside from when I was like 3 or 4 years old, it was in like that 2013 time frame, right? 2011, 2015, they were good. And when they finally were done with that, I got that beer. I put it in the fridge. This is pre-gluten, diet, gluten-free diet. And I told myself, I'm going to drink this when the Pirates win the World Series.
And when you're 75 and they do, you'll instantly die.
I might. Yes. Yeah. You know what? It'd be worth it.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do it. All right. For those of you who are new to this show, this is week 1. So there will be some newbies, especially folks who are tuning in via YouTube, because we are doing this live. And the Late Round Fantasy Football YouTube is where we are doing this live from. This is Living the Stream, where we give quarterback, defense, and tight end recommendations every single week based on opposition matchups. And we will hopefully stream a Frankenstein and help your fantasy teams and do well for those teams. But as you can tell, this show is, 20 minutes of fantasy football and 40 minutes of non-fantasy football at this point. Something like that.
We try to jam all the fantasy football actionable content into a small window, and then we talk about things that really matter outside of that window, like poop,
right. Poop is a lot of poop talk. I mean, look, we're not afraid to dig into the topics that other podcasts won't dig into.
That's right. No. And right. Mainstream media censors it. We won't. We're going to talk about it, and they can't stop us.
That's right. So every week we will ask for questions on Twitter, on Blue Sky, and on Patreon, and you guys can submit those questions, and we will hopefully get to them, or at least some of them, on the show. But with that being said, Denny, let's move on to week 1 streamers. Because I caught you by surprise there, I'm going to go first. I feel like you don't have your stuff pulled up.
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, well, okay, then you go first, Denny.
I'm totally ready.
Go ahead.
Except for I'm not. Okay, yeah, we have Michael Penix, folks. against the Bucks in a game that has a 47.5 point total, the fourth highest of the week. That's pretty good. The Falcons last season, I looked into it, had a 60% neutral pass rate against the Bucks in 2 matchups combined. The Bucks were last year's most extreme pass funnel defense partly because they had a really solid run defense. Now, I've talked all offseason about how Atlanta's offense is probably going to be run first, right? But I think this game could be an exception to that rule. I think we could see kind of a elevated number of dropbacks for Penix against the Tampa secondary that kind of gave up some big numbers last year. So I think Penix is the top streamer. What do you think?
I might go with Bryce Young as my favorite streamer. The thing with Penix too, like last year he had the second highest ADOT in football among 100 plus drop back passers, only behind Anthony Richardson, who that's all Anthony Richardson did was just throw the ball deep. And so like there's that too, and if there's a back and forth kind of style in this game, I think there could be some big plays. So you got to like that. I hope that Darnell Mooney ends up playing, but I think he's trending in the right direction.
Trending in the right direction. And I like him a lot.
Oh, I love Darnell Mooney. All right. Bryce Young, he gets Jacksonville this week. I think this is a fun game. Carolina and Jacksonville, one that could shoot out. Last year, Bryce Young came back from being benched and he averaged 18 standard fantasy points per game. That's -2 interceptions and 4 points per touchdown pass. He had 5 points per game via rushing during that 10-game stretch, which is a lot high. I mean, like when you look at the context of of quarterbacks who run the football, like Drake May, we're all like salivating, about this year. And he was at like 4.2 points per game with his legs last year.
Yeah.
Bryce Young was at 5 when he came back. Now, some of that's going to be buoyed by touchdowns a bit, but like still, like I think that there is some of that juice with him. And that's probably the differentiator for me between him and Penix is that Penix is not, mobile like that.
Not at all.
By the way, another thing about Penix, there's a chance that he's just really good. If you look at what he did in Washington in college and the wide receivers he played with, he had Rome Odunze, who I still think is good. I drafted a lot of Odunze, but he had Jalen McMillan, who is fine. And then Jalen Polk, right. We don't know if Jalen McMillan, and then Jalen Polk,
right.
who is a disaster, right? Like what if Penix, and Rome Odunze hasn't done anything yet in the NFL, right? Where this is a projection for him. And so
that's a good point. Yeah.
What if Penix is like the anti-Zach Mettenberger? Because Zach Mettenberger had OBJ, Jarvis Landry. Sometimes we see these situations where, and I think Cam Ward might be one of those dudes too, because at Miami you had Elijah Arroyo, who
he stinks. He stinks.
He might be. We'll see how good Elijah Arroyo is. But he had Xavier Restrepo, who couldn't make the team, and Damian Martinez was their lead back, who didn't make the team either. And a lot of people like Martinez. So there could be that going on with Cam Ward as well. Anyway, that is a tangent. Bryce Young gets Tedero McMillan. Xavier Leggette's another year in. I wish Jalen Coker were healthy because I would really, really like the wide receiving room. I'm not like a big Leggette fan, just based on what he looked like as a prospect and what he did in year 1. But the weapons are better. The offensive line is pretty good for Carolina. I like their offense. I think this game has a chance to shoot out with Liam Cohen on the other side. So I like Bryce Young as my top streamer this week.
You didn't mention that Hunter Renfrow is going to catch 9 passes.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that.
Because that's happening. All right. Streamer number 3, I guess. Daniel Jones against the Dolphins. Game has like a shockingly high 46.5 point total. The implied total for Indianapolis is 23.75 points. Like what? I mean, that's good.
It's good.
Yeah, so this is mostly, look, Jones, there's no indication that he's a good passer. He is actually really accurate in the short areas, which I think is really good for Josh Downs, but that's a whole other thing. It's about his rushing and his rushing prospects and upside and whatever. Jones over his career has averaged almost 6 rushing attempts per game. Last year in New York, he averaged 6.7 rushes per game. If we could sign up for 6 or 7, as my kids would say, 6 or 7. Have you seen this?
Yeah. What is that thing? I've seen there's numbers and stuff. What is that all about?
I do. It's a Zoomer brain rot thing. And it's I think on TikTok, but every time they're like, "Hey Dad, what time's dinner?" I'm like, "I don't know, between 6 and 7." They're like 6, 7, 6, 7. It drives me crazy.
I don't get it.
It's just from the song.
What song?
It's just from a song. Can somebody in the chat help us out?
Oh, okay.
Are there Zoomers in the chat?
Yeah, well, we got David Kitchen from the Late Round Fantasy Football account saying 6'7". I'm officially old with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I always want, like whenever I was growing up and we were saying things like it was sweet and stuff like that, like that was, like it was just a very obvious, like this is what it means, or like that. Like remember when people would call things fat, PHAT?
I was always uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, you can't do that these days, especially. But like when people would say that, but like you could understand it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you would comprehend. I'm not to say that I would say those things. I'm just saying like you could comprehend it. I can't even comprehend what the heck's going on anymore.
6'7". Anyway, if we can get 6'7" rushes out of Daniel Jones, I'm signing up. I think he's an okay play. Another word in the 90s, JJ, that was meant to be cool, but I didn't understand. I literally did not understand it at first. Was tight.
Oh, right? Yeah, tight. Yeah.
Where people like so I showed up to school one day wearing a Dolphins starter jacket, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I thought I was a shit, right? Sorry, but I thought I looked amazing. And this kid comes up to me, the kid who I really respected, really cool kid, and he comes up and he was like, "Yo, that's tight. That's tight." And I seriously, my actual response was, it fits great. It's actually a little loose, man.
That's what starter jackets are. They're a little bit loose.
And he was like, no, it's tight. I was like, no, what I'm telling you is actually it fits. Stop saying it's too tight.
Whom among us did not have a starter jacket if you grew up in the 90s?
Oh, I feel like everybody did.
I had a Penguins one that was handed down from my brother, and then I had a Hornets one, which now I live in Charlotte.
Right. I had a Hornets one as well.
You didn't have a Hornets one though.
What'd you say?
Everyone had something Hornets.
Yeah. The Hornets were very big. My friend had a San Jose Sharks one that was like literally like the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah, the Sharks were another really cool and fun fun team to wear. All right, I'm going to go Joe Flacco as the last quarterback streamer. By the way, the Josh Downs thing, he's going to also be facing a 5th round rookie corner in the slot this week.
Ooh, let's go.
I'm a big Josh Downs guy this week. Joe Flacco gets Cincinnati. He has to keep pace with Cincinnati. They're likely going to face a negative game script. The last time that we saw Flacco in Cleveland, he had 5 starts in the regular season. He finished as a top 15 quarterback in each of those 5 starts. I've been one of the people that have said that like the overall fantasy consensus in Joe Flacco being like he is a net positive versus the other quarterbacks they had, but like it's not like he is that good of a quarterback. It's just that he's willing to take chances and do things that we like for fantasy football purposes.
That's right. That's right.
And so I don't know how long this ride will last. Like I've been asking other, like when I had Silva on my show, I asked him, and I've asked some others, but what do you think the line is for Joe Flacco starts this year? If I said, would you go over under 7.5 starts for Flacco?
Honestly, I'd go under, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think that's probably around the line that I would place, just because they why would they not want to see what they have out of the other guys?
Exactly. I mean, the season's going to tank eventually. I know he's your twin brother, but I do think that it's going to be short-lived. You have to turn on your fantasy brain to enjoy Joe Flacco right now. Yeah. The same. I kind of think the same thing to a different extent with Spencer Rattler. Like, you not that you're playing Rattler, but you like the fact that he is just a wild man and will just throw it anywhere at any time. Like that actually is not too bad for fantasy.
Yeah, and then someone's mentioning in chat about their schedule. Keep the Chief in chat is saying their schedule. I'll read it to you. Okay, it's Cincinnati, Baltimore, Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, Pittsburgh. That's how they start the season.
Damn,
like that's they might not win any of those games. I mean, I think they're going to be underdogs in all of those games. So
you know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like 50 Flacco dropbacks every week. That's what it sounds
like. For sure. But look, he has a pretty good supporting cast around him. And they're going to have to keep pace. I think we're going to see 40 plus attempts this week from Flacco. And given the way that he throws the ball down the field, I'm cool with that as a deeper play.
Absolutely. You ready for tight ends?
Let's go to tight end. Yeah.
All right. Can I start with Brenton Strange, the 4th?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Brenton Strange, he is playing Carolina. He plays for the Jaguars, by the way. But you knew that because you're a sicko. Last year, okay profile. He was targeted on about 20% of his routes in 2024. That increased a little bit when his usage got better late in the season. He should be out there. I mean, honestly, like, correct me if I'm wrong, JJ, but I feel like Strange could run like 90% of the routes in this offense.
I mean, at least I think he's going to be in the 80% range.
Yeah. So that's a luxury. And the Panthers, I just wanted to mention, by all accounts, are going to have a pretty bad pass rush. They had a bad pass rush last year. So Trevor Lawrence should have time to operate and to spread it around to his pass catchers.
You know that Brenton Strange, his final year at Penn State, he played with Theo Johnson and Tyler Warren.
Really?
All on the same team. Keandre Lambert-Smith was also on that team. And
it's crazy. Parker
Washington. Bunch of fringe NFL players. Just
that's nuts.
Guys who we would be shouting out on this show. One of them we are going to shout out on this show, Theo Johnson.
All right.
Negative game script, very possible against Washington this week. Before his injury last year, we were throwing him out there at times on this show, but he had nearly a 20% target share in his final 4 games, basically the last month of the season before he went down. Obviously, he was a rookie, so like there's going to be a slow ramp up. 78% route participation from him. That was top 15 in the league. I mean, if we are able to maintain that, he's an extra year in, a little bit more experience, hopefully better quarterback play. And then within this negative game script, I could see him getting, 6 or 7 targets in this game and being a viable option.
6, 7.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
I wonder if that was just like in my subconscious and I think said it.
Well, once you know it, you can never stop saying it.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna ask Avery about this when she gets off the bus.
Oh man. Oh, the kids.
She's still not quite in, because she's in 2nd grade. So it's like it's beginning, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So the brain rot is not fully in effect.
Not fully, no, but she watches, some brain rot stuff. So I'm only human.
So did I tell you that I announced swim meets or dive meets in the summer? Did I tell you that?
You announced them? I thought you were saying that like you went on Blue Sky and you like
No. Like my kids do dive, and So
what do you have to do for that? Like you announce them as they're like getting up to the diving board and stuff?
I announce them. They get up there. I announce their dive, which is always very complicated, right? It involves like 15 words.
So do they have to announce what they're about to do before they do it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Like the judges have to know, right?
Yeah, I know nothing about this. So
no, I didn't either. I still don't know a lot, but I know a little more. So you have to announce the diver. You have to announce the type of dive and all this stuff. And then after the dive is complete, once I get the go ahead from the head judge, then I say, scores, please. And the judges raise their little placards, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes I would be like 7.5, 7, 6, 7. And all the kids would go 6, 7.
Oh my God. Oh my! Did you have did you troll them at all? Not the kids, but just like everyone there. Like, did you do like different voices, or were you obnoxious at all?
No, I was too scared to do that.
You were very formal with it.
Oh, super formal.
Okay.
And when I would mispronounce a kid's name, their parents would be like, "It's not pronounced that way."
Oh, really?
I'm so sorry. I promise, like, I have respect for your kid. Your kid just has a really complicated name.
Wow.
Okay. Let's go on to more tight ends here.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Jatavian Sanders on the other side of this game for Carolina against Jacksonville. He averaged 3.7 receptions and a 16% target share in games last year where Tommy Tremble was out of the lineup. Tremble is obviously still plays for the Panthers somehow. I don't understand how, but he does. He appears to be well ahead of, I'm talking about Sanders, appears to be well ahead of Tremble on the depth chart. So maybe they'll phase out Tremble. If that happens, I think Sanders becomes a legit play. Also, Dave Canales, I looked it up before the show, has spoken really highly of Sanders' ability to get open. So if this becomes a back and forth, it could be a decent game for him.
Yeah, and no Coker, in the slot, maybe that'll help too. I hope Sanders has a big year because I drafted him a lot in the final rounds of DraftKings best ball drafts. I'm going to go to Chig Okonkwo, who I think has a low-key chance to just be a starter in fantasy this year. He had really high route participation rate with Cam Ward in the preseason. I think he ran on every single Cam Ward drop back. He was running a route. So if we end up seeing, 90% plus route participation from an athletic tight end where we've seen, his rookie season, he had a 2.62 yards per route run rate. And this is in an offense where they don't have a number 2. It's Calvin Ridley. And, I like Alec Iamaner. Like, I think that he was a good prospect for a day 3 guy, but who knows what happens there. So we always want that in our tight ends. We want them to be a top 2 target getter on their team. And I think Okonkwo has that path. They get Denver this week, really good defense, but I could see a scenario where Patrick Surtain kind of shuts down Calvin Ridley to a degree, and they need some of those like cheaper and easier outlet passes, and they use Chig Okonkwo, and he gets 4 or 5 catches. I'm not going to say the other 2 numbers. And he gets 4 or 5 catches in this game. In another game where we could see a negative game script from Tennessee. And in fact, we should expect a negative game script.
A lot of bad game scripts.
like we could just see another, 40 plus dropbacks for Cam Ward in this game. That's going to help, Chig Okonkwo. So my own, I don't think they'd keep him in line to block and stuff because they need him as a pass catcher. So I like Chig. I like him long-term, and I definitely like him enough in week 1.
I feel so much better about myself that you like Chig Okonkwo, because my guy RotoPat has been killing me on the Okonkwo front all offseason.
Has he?
And Kyle Dvorak too. They're just dismissing him. And I'm like, guys, again, turn on the fantasy part of your brain.
Right.
I'm not saying he's great. He's not. But he's just going to be there running all the routes.
Right.
And seeing all the underneath outlet stuff. And this team's going to throw a lot. So anyway, I do like that. I love my Titans, as the commenter says. Harold Fannin, we just wanted to mention him. Browns rookie. JJ knows his mom. That's not a mom joke.
It's not even a mom joke.
It's just real. It's just real. Playing the Bengals. Browns are 5.5-point home dogs, so should be, like JJ mentioned a minute ago, should be lots of pass heavy negative game script for the Browns. Fannin was held out of Cleveland's final preseason game. I feel like that really indicates that they're ready to use him as a guy who, I don't know, maybe runs 40% of the routes to start the season. You could do worse. You could do worse than that.
Yeah. I mean, look, they're going to run a lot of 12 personnel. We've seen that with Stefanski in the past, and they don't have a slot. Like, they don't have a slot guy, like an easy go-to guy there. And he's not, like, the thing that I think people should realize that he's not the same kind of player as David Njoku. Like, Fannin is like a route running tight end, like very good in that area. Whereas Njoku is just like that stretch the field, like physical freak that obviously has been effective in the past. But I think that they complement each other really well as tight ends. So if you run a lot of 12 personnel, they would work well together. What are you smirking at?
I'm smirking at Armando Guzman in the chat. Said he said, I mentioned Fannin during a draft last week and I was kicked out of my league. That's the censorship. And honestly, you should get a lawyer.
Yes. All right, let's look at defenses. We'll go quick with these because it's usually pretty straightforward. Arizona, I think, is an easy go-to. They're 5.5-point road favorites. The Saints have Spencer Rattler. They might stink. You can use the Cardinals. I don't think the Cardinals defense is going to be like horrific either. So I think the Cardinals work this week.
Who do I have as far as defenses?
You got the Patriots.
Patriots, yeah. Patriots playing the Raiders. I think that is the lowest total. No, second lowest total game of the week. It's pretty bad stuff. So it should be an ugly game. I mean, if Geno's washed, then it could be really ugly. We'll see.
I'm going to go to the Commanders next. They're 6.5-point favorites. The Giants have a 28th ranked implied total. Russell Wilson played just 11 games last year, and he ranked 14th in sacks taken. So I think that there could be a sack-based floor in this one.
Sack-based floor. I have the Jets, correct? Jets defense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Jets. So this whole Elijah Vera Tucker injury for the Jets just like throws off all my plans for week 1 because he's like a critical part of this Jets offense, as far as like them wanting to establish it and run the ball a lot this year. And they're going to be without their best run blocking lineman maybe all year now. How does that affect the defense? Well, if they're not able to do what they want on offense, then things go awry for the whole team and they're put in bad spots on defense. But I do think Aaron Rodgers, latter day Aaron Rodgers being immobile, unable to escape pressure, could give them a sack-based floor. And it'll be, look, just vibes wise, guys, look, this is in New York. Rodgers is returning to his longtime home and they hate this guy. They are going. This fan base is going to be outside of their minds in this game. It's going to be very, very hostile. I do like the Jets defense overall against the Steelers.
I'm going to go with the Rams. I actually really like the Rams this week because the Texans offensive line is not good. At least on paper, arguably the worst in football, or at least one of the worst. And then they get the Rams, who were 10th in QB pressure rate last year. Texans were bottom 5 in QB pressure rate allowed. I think there's a lot of sack potential in this game. Texans won't be able to run the ball that well, so they're probably going to drop back to pass a lot. I do like Christian Kirk as a result of that, as like an easy outlet. But I do think that there could be a lot of CJ Stroud being on the ground in this game, and that makes the Rams viable.
I also like the Texans defense.
The Texans defense is just good. Yeah,
right. Would you play a Texans defense over the Rams? I'm just curious.
I don't remember how I had them ranked, but they're probably. I actually have the Rams 2 spots ahead, but
it's close.
I can make it. Yeah, I can make an argument for the Texans.
I just wanted to mention the Bears against the Vikings because JJ McCarthy's making his first start. It's in Chicago, I believe, correct? I'm sorry, I should have looked at this before. Yes, it is in Chicago.
I couldn't remember.
So I don't know. I just feel like a player's first regular season game against a good defense could be pretty bad for JJ McCarthy.
You had the Dolphins too, didn't you?
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. Yeah, we have a lot of defenses this week.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's the same reason we mentioned Daniel Jones, just incredibly inaccurate. I worry a little bit about the Dolphins just being so bad that the Colts can take it easy and not put Daniel Jones in precarious situations. But if he is forced into a drop back, like an obvious drop back game script, it'll be fun if you have the Dolphins. But I feel like the Dolphins are a borderline play.
Yeah. Someone's saying Packers D or Cardinals D. I'd play the Cardinals over the Packers. Packers get Detroit. Yeah.
I would too.
All right, to recap, we got the Dolphins is like a deep one. The Jets, Patriots, Rams, Commanders, and Cardinals. So a lot of them. Harold Fannin as a deep play. Jatavian Sanders, Theo Johnson, Brenton Strange, Chigakonkwo, Joe Flacco, Daniel Jones, Bryce Young, and Michael Penix. All right, let's get to questions. We have some from Twitter, some from Blue Sky, some from Patreon. I will kick things off. I didn't realize, but I had some saved from a while ago.
Really?
I'll go to just today.
Okay.
This is from @FantasyLadder. What is worse? An unnecessary remade version of an older beloved movie like Point Break, or an unnecessary sequel to a beloved movie like Happy Gilmore 2. I'm personally terrified at the thought of a rumored Goonies remake.
No. Stop.
So do you hate the sequel or do you hate the remake?
If I have to choose one, I hate the sequel. How about you?
Yeah, I think so too, because sometimes the remakes are, because you go into the remakes almost wanting just the nostalgia of it all. Right?
You can ignore the remake if you want.
Right. But did you watch Happy Gilmore 2?
I tried.
You tried, so you stopped.
I stopped. It's like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I just can't believe how bad it is. My dad is the biggest Happy Gilmore fan ever. He's seen the movie probably like 50 plus times. And he actually said, I'm not exaggerating. He said these words to me. He said, the sequel made him dislike the first one. He said, I can never watch the original. He said, it's clearly the worst movie I ever made. This comes from my dad. My dad's not a picky, very cultural guy. Okay. Yeah. He's a guy who he would say this, I just want a movie to make me laugh.
Yeah.
That's it. And he was horrified by Happy Gilmore 2.
Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was horrible, but I also went into it assuming that it was going to be horrible.
It's terrible.
It was pretty much as bad as I expected. So I'm not like yelling from, but look, you guys know my Adam Sandler takes. I don't think Adam Sandler has made great movies.
He's bad.
Yeah, like I don't think he's been that great. Like especially when you go back and you look at some of the movies now and you watch them now, like. Is Billy Madison good? It's fine. Is Waterboy good? Not really. Like it's just not really that good. I don't think it's that good.
Horrible. In fact, Adam Sandler stinks.
I think he seems like a really great dude, and I liked him in like Uncut Gems and stuff. Like I think that he's actually a better drama actor than he is
I do too.
Comedy actor.
Remember his 9/11 movie?
No.
Yeah, he was in a movie where he lost his family in 9/11.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, you don't discover it until late in the movie. Sorry to ruin it.
What? The 9/11 happened?
No, that's
spoiler alert, guys.
That
2 planes.
He lost his family. By the way, we have some pitches for the Goonies sequel. Goonies 2, Gooners. Gooners. Two Goon, Two Furious.
Very good.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, like Grown Ups is another just terrible movie. Like
Grown Ups.
Have you seen any of those movies?
Yeah. So my dad actually would disown me if I said Grown Ups is bad. So I don't know.
Oh, really? So he's a big Grown Ups guy.
Big Grown Ups guy.
Wow.
And he's like the sequel might be better.
Does your dad like David Spade? I feel like your dad would love David Spade.
He freaking loves David Spade.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, can't get enough.
But look, I like some David Spade. Like Tommy Boy is a fantastic movie.
Tommy Boy
with Chris Farley.
Oh yeah, but that's Chris Farley. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, but David Spade's in it. But I mean, Joe Dirt. I wasn't like a Joe Dirt guy. Like I didn't think that stuff was funny.
I wasn't a Joe Dirt guy. That's such a millennial thing to say. Oh man.
All right, next question. At I am Groot 2001. Since this is a poop podcast, have you ever used a bidet? If so, care to describe your thoughts the first time the water shot onto your butt? On a side note, I was a bidet virgin until a year ago, and no one prepared me for the first shot of cold water that first time. Guys, I have a bidet. Okay, I have one in my main bathroom, in my master bathroom, and it is one of the greatest things that anyone could install in their home.
Okay, we are going to differ here. We have we have 3 bidets in our house, and
you guys can have like fountains going on. Like this is a lot.
The kids use it. My wife uses it. I refuse. I used it once. I came away drenched. Like my whole body was soaking wet. Like
I don't think you used it properly. You're supposed to turn around and just put your chest in the bidet and turn it on.
I'm not playing with you. I had to towel off afterward. Like
you should not have to towel off after using a bidet.
And I was like, never again. I'm good with toilet paper.
Either your brain or the bidet installation. One of the two things are broken.
I'm sorry, man. I can never try it again. Like that is like the one. I'm not closed-minded about it a lot. I'm totally closed-minded about bidets. I'm just doing the old-fashioned thing.
Yeah, I can just picture you being late to one of your podcasts, and you get on, and Rotopat's like, Denny, why are you so wet? And you're like, it was just bidet incident,
Wrench my hair. I mean, I was just so deeply annoyed by the whole thing. I was like, wait, I did that when I could simply do what I've done my whole life and take some toilet paper and wipe my butt.
Look, Denny, sometimes you need to clean, and sometimes it's a little bit more sensitive down there than maybe you've experienced. Okay. And bidets are awesome. They're fantastic. They're very good.
Okay.
Period. End of story. You will not win this fight.
No. I actually don't even want to. I don't even want to fight. I'm glad that you like them.
Next question. Listen to who this is from. At Steak Knife Ob.
A Steak Knife Ob.
It's so great to hear from you. Yeah. Where do I claim my prize for most questions answered last season? Well, it's a good question. All jokes aside, my question is what he says. Do you immediately hit the door? Steak Knife Ob has the best questions every week.
He really does.
Every week.
Actually a skill.
Yeah. Do you immediately hit the door close button on the elevator, or do you let it run its course? I personally don't want anyone else in the elevator with me, so I hit the button ASAP.
I will if I'm in a hurry, but it doesn't make a difference, right?
I have a take. Maybe this is a conspiracy, but I don't think it does anything.
It doesn't do anything.
I think that it's all a mental thing that you think you're closing the door faster, but it would actually be closing at the exact same speed.
Like you're acting like you're Jamie Lee Curtis in a horror movie, like, oh, please close. I got to get to my doctor's appointment.
That's right. Yeah.
But it doesn't do anything. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah. I don't think it does anything either. And so I would say that I'm not a button closer. If the kids are in there, they just want to touch a button in the elevator, I'll let them touch that one.
Yeah.
because then you're not stopping at every floor on the way up.
When the kids were little and they used to like just jam the buttons as soon as they got in there. I honestly, I was like, I need to like become a Buddhist. Like I need to like find an inner peace at this moment or I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah. So we were at, like I said, we were at Hilton Head over the summer, and there was like a 5-story condominium complex that we stayed at. And CJ thought it was the funniest thing in the world to just smack the button when he got into the elevator every time. And sometimes there were people in it. And so that was not easy to explain to people, especially if they were kidless, that they had to stop on multiple floors on the way up because my son is a maniac.
Can I real quick share a story just before we get to the next question?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was playing golf the other day, first time I got out all year. And at the turn, they have a little like hot dog hamburger place set up. So I come up, I order a cheeseburger while the kid is cooking. The kid looks to be about 19, 20 years old. He sees my Dolphins head cover on my driver, right? I've had the thing for 15 years, 20 years. And he's like, "Are you Dolphins fan?" I said, "No." We get into this discussion. He said, first he goes, "So what you grew up rooting for like Brian Greasy? Bob Greasy."
Bob Greasy?
I was like, no. How old do I look exactly? My God. I said, "No, I grew up in the 90s. So I was a big Marino guy." And so I'm thinking, okay, he's 19 years old. Zoomers don't know anything about what came before them. Nothing. Okay. No one's ever read a history book. No one's ever watched a movie. So I'm like, okay, so this kid does not know who Dan Marino is. There's no way. So he goes on. He goes, "Yeah, I know Marino." I said, "If you ever want to look at some crazy stats, look at his 1984." And before I could finish my sentence, the kid goes, "Yeah, I know, 84 season." And then he rattles off from the top of his head the completions, the yards, and the touchdowns. Dan Marino in 1984. And I'm
Get him on the podcast.
I'm like, what? Excuse me? Like you just rattled off Marino's 84 numbers? Like, are you Rain Man? Like if I throw a bunch of toothpicks on the ground, are you going to be able to know how many are on the ground instantly? This is incredible. How did you do that? Anyway.
Wow. Man.
Yeah.
There's a Armando says Zoomers think you're either 60 or 25. It's totally true. People on Twitter legitimately think that I'm like 55 years old. Legitimately.
No.
Or there'll be like a post where like a video of me comes out and they say, "I thought you were 55," which is better than I look 55 or 60 or whatever.
That's incredible.
But they think I'm like, I don't think that I carry myself in that way. Like I don't like, why would you think I'm over 50?
You don't sound old.
Yeah, I don't think I sound old.
If they're listening to you just on podcast form, I mean, you don't strike me as someone who sounds like they're 60.
I don't know. I've gotten it before though. I've gotten it, which is really weird too, because I started in this industry so young.
I know,
and I was always like the young guy, and I'm certainly not the young guy anymore.
Right? Yeah. I was gonna say the dynamic for you is a little different. How old are you now?
37.
Okay, so I'm 5 years older.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were really young when you started. So
yeah, I was like 24.
You were the kid wonder. So to be not the kid wonder anymore, it's got to be a little weird for you.
It's a little jarring. I mean, I feel worst for Davis Maddock because everyone just assumes he's still 18 when he's got a child on the way.
He does. Oh
yeah, he's gonna be a dad.
Fantastic, great.
Yeah,
he was 18 when he started. So
yeah, I mean he's still only 19. Next question at Johnny F Ball Seed. What's the correct temperature to set a hotel room thermostat?
I usually do 70.
Yeah, 69, 70. I'd say somewhere in that range.
Somewhere in that range. Nice range.
Yeah, I don't need to be. I'm not one of those like got to be 65 people.
I decided to go all in on saving on my utility bill this summer, and we had a heat wave that like has never been seen before in Maryland. I set my thermostat, I'm not kidding you, to 83.
83?
83.
83.
And we still paid a lot of money to the utility company. But yes.
83, my goodness.
Yeah, really.
I would sell a child before having my thermostat at 83.
That was the other option.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would understand. Next question. At Justin White VA. Dear Denny, how is the mental health having departed from X? It has to be hygienic for the soul. Look forward to a season worth of poop pod to catch up. How's it been not being on Twitter?
Look, do I miss some of the people that I knew through Twitter? Of course. I should say I call it X because I feel like it's just a totally different entity than it was as Twitter. So do I miss people? Yeah, I do. Some of those people have come to Blue Sky, and that's great to see. But yeah, generally, like, getting away from that stuff has been good for me. Although grinding any microblogging site is going to make you anxious. Like, let's just be real. Like, because I mean, you're still absorbing a lot of the news. You're still absorbing a lot of posts from people you don't know that are very doomy and gloomy. So I'm not going to pretend that it's been like fantastic. But there's a lot of stuff on the X platform that I just couldn't deal with.
Fair enough. All right, let's move on to the Blue Sky platform. This one's from DL Long. It says, do you guys use mouthwash? If so, what's your brand? Whatever burns the most is my go-to.
I like a good burn. Listerine.
I don't use mouthwash, actually.
Oh, is it bad for you?
I mean, I've seen studies about like how, like, I think there's like a heart connection to it and such, like, because you're killing good bacteria and you don't want to always do that.
Oh, damn.
But I could be wrong too. I mean, someone can do a Google search right now. I just don't do it. But also, like, I've had throat related issues in the past, and I just don't want to mess with something that's so harsh.
I get that.
Yeah.
I want to make my gums as resilient as possible, because I love when the dentist pokes at my gums at the every 6 month checkup, and they can't make them bleed, and I'm like, hell yeah. Like, that's good. Yeah. I know your goal is to just poke until they bleed, and then you say, oh, what are you doing to your gums? Well, my gums are perfect because I use mouthwash and I floss every day.
How many cavities have you gotten in your lifetime?
Oh man, so many.
Really? I think it's more. I think it's largely genetic.
I believe it. I believe it is. I've at least a dozen.
Really, I haven't had any.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. It kind of makes me mad. I'm gonna.
But I do think it's. I mean, I go every 6 months, but I think it is still like a genetic related thing.
Both of my parents have had teeth issues, but I didn't brush my teeth as a kid, so I think that probably didn't help.
Like, ever?
I mean, I did it like when things got bad, like when someone would be like, "Oh God, man, your breath," then I would brush.
Like, as a kid, how late are you talking here?
Oh, until I was maybe like 8.
Oh, okay. That's not as bad as that.
Yeah. No, but also I didn't know you were supposed to brush your tongue until I was like 15.
You ever use a tongue scraper?
I have not, but so it was frustrating because I would brush my teeth really well in high school, and I would go to school and people would be like, bro, your breath is terrible. And I'm like, dude, I just brushed my teeth like right before I got here. So that's impossible. I didn't brush my tongue. I didn't know.
Man. Next question. At Beefcake5, who is also in chat. What is your favorite sport venue, professional, college, high school, or whatever, that you've seen a game at?
I don't really have one. Do you?
Mine would be PNC Park in Pittsburgh, and that's not even the Yinzer in me. That's,
you know what? I've been there.
Yeah, it's literally voted as one of the most beautiful parks in the country.
It was great.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Too bad the team's horrific.
I saw a Pirates Rockies regular season game there in 2012, and the Pirates won on a 12th inning grand slam.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty great.
Wow. Someone fact checked in. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, you could.
we had some Patreon questions too, didn't we?
Yeah, we have a few. And folks, just so you know, we do post the streamers on Patreon on Tuesdays. We're going to usually try to do that early on Tuesdays. Also some other stuff there if you guys want to support our little very mediocre show. Yeah, we have a couple questions. One, I need JJ's input here. This is from Impress Suave. Shorts season is quickly coming to an end. For our morning 3-mile walks, are we doing shorts with thermals underneath, sweatpants? Also, please enjoy the 2 weeks of crew neck season before the hoodies take over until March. So let's forget the hoodies for a second.
Yeah.
What do? You told me before the show, just simply wear shorts.
Simply wear shorts. Just wear shorts all the time. That is the answer to any of you to that question. You only wear shorts if it's so cold out that because what are you talking? Soon means that it's going to be like 30 something degrees. Like to me, 35 and over, you can wear shorts outside.
What?
Yeah, you can wear short especially if you're exercising.
That's an outrageous take. Outrageous.
35 and over, under 35, sure, put on thermal, like some long underwear or something underneath, and then put the shorts on top.
I was just imagining how funny it'd be if you didn't put the shorts on.
Yeah, you got to put the shorts on top. You got to put the shorts on top. That's like the running look, like the going out for a jog. I'm a suburban dad look, fine. But no, it's just short, like they're Farzad is saying Farzad in chat. Farzad. I don't know, how would you pronounce that? Farzad.
Farzad, yeah.
Yeah. That shorts and hoodie is it.
Shorts and a hoodie. All right. Look, for me, that temperature mark that you're talking about, under 35, you wear pants, over 35 short. For me, that's like 55. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm saying like going on a walk in your neighborhood. Okay. I'm not going to go out in public and, I'll wear like some sort of jogger or something when I'm dropping the kids off. Right. Like something that's just like easy. You can throw on over shorts, honestly. Okay. Right. So I'll do that when I drop the kids off. But
I'm going to throw a little wrinkle in the mix here. What if, like me, you have converted to wearing just incredibly short shorts?
Yeah, I mean, I wear short enough. Although people I was doing that live stream. Did I tell that story on the draft show with you and Tom? I can't remember what came first about me blowing my nose thing.
Oh yeah.
So on that, whenever I did that and I blew my nose on a live stream while doing a DraftKings draft, and it picked up on the microphone, which I didn't even know was possible. When I got up, people realized I was wearing bright red shorts that day.
That's right. That's
yeah.
Right.
And so they all made fun of me for wearing and one shorts, but they're not long like and one shorts.
Okay.
They were just bright red. I still wear. I'm well above knee, right? I'm probably not as short as you, I would imagine, but I'm still well above knee.
I'm wearing shorts right now that are like have like a 4-inch inseam.
4-inch.
I think so.
Isn't above knee usually like 8-inch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wear the normal like 8-inch.
So what I'm saying is, I'm cold as hell when I go outside with these little shorts when it's freezing in the morning, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but so your shorts are like running shorts.
Yeah,
like marathon runner shorts.
Yeah, they're short enough so that I feel like family members are uncomfortable around me.
I mean, like you're close to like thong territory at this point.
Wow, can't wait for the folks to make those images.
We're gonna get some crazy images from AI this year from listeners. There's no doubt.
I know. We love our AI, don't we, folks?
Germs the Germ said Hoochie Daddy shorts.
That's what they call me, Hoochie Daddy. We have one more from Patreon. Charles Sword, longtime supporter of the show. There were rumors this week that a certain political figure may have been in trouble. What would be the clues for the lovely patrons that either of you were not well and or dead, and someone was covering up for you? What would be the clues that you would have?
Do you have one for you? Probably you'd start posting on Twitter again.
Right. That would be one. I also think not being live on the internet every 3 hours like I am during the season, that would be a clear indication that something was wrong.
Yeah, I think being super active, maybe not saying thanks for tuning in during an intro of one of my podcast episodes because the person who was filling in for me forgot, or AI forgot.
Yeah, right. If someone was trying to use AI to cover up for my absence, and the AI program started talking about like elite running backs, then obviously you would know.
Yeah, Germs the Germ said the JJ Body Double eats gluten. So, the person starts talking about a great pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Dairy, I can eat dairy-free, gluten-free pizza, but there's one specific spot I go to, and that double does not know what that spot is. There's no doubt.
Exactly. The AI can't crack that code.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Any other questions?
That's it. Denny.
All right.
Let everyone know where they can find you, what you're working on, what's going on this season. Tell me what you're doing this season.
Absolutely. Yeah. I am I am on Blue Sky if you want to check that out. I do the Roto World Football Show every Tuesday and Thursday with Roto Pat Daugherty, and Kyle Dvorchak. I also have two weekly in-season pieces on the Roto World site. One is called the Regression Files. That'll come out on Tuesdays, and then I will have a matchup column coming out on Thursdays.
Awesome. I'm on Twitter and on Blue Sky at Late Round QB. I'm going to have 6 shows in my podcast feed each week. We're adding the Late Round Fantasy Football Show every Saturday, which is the show that Kitchen and I have been doing over the last few months on the YouTube channel. The audio will hit on Saturday. We recorded on Friday, but then the audio will hit on Saturday within that feed. So definitely check that out, the Late Round Fantasy Football Podcast. Obviously, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the Living the Stream podcast, all that good stuff. Check out the Patreon. Otherwise, everyone, enjoy this absolutely unhinged outro video. Take care.
Thank you for listening to Living the Stream. We hope you enjoyed the internet podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes now. It won't take long, it's fast. For more fantasy football info, check out
LateRound.com and Roto World.
Hope you come back soon as we share about the teams and as we live in the stream.